Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here and welcome back to another online battle in Total War Warhammer 2. Today we are back with another free-for-all. This time we have me, Warrior Sparta, Mr. Smart Donkey and Haxo the Hunter. And we have a pretty interesting battle. I am playing as the Dark Elves, Mr. Smart Donkey is playing as the High Elves, we have Haxo the Hunter playing as the Lizardmen, and then Warrior Sparta also playing as the High Elves. So we have two High Elves, one Dark Elf and one Lizardmen faction. However, this battle is pretty interesting because it turns into by the looks of the battle, you can see me and Warrior Sparta kind of started off the battle just not going to war with each other whatsoever, and we both tried to rush down our opponents, but Haxo also comes into the middle and it just devolves into a really interesting battle. So we'll quickly run through the army comps and then get started in the battle. We'll start off with my Dark Elves. On my front line I have about 4 or 5 of these bleak swords. These guys are basically just here to hold my front line. Behind them I have the Black Guard of Nagaron. These guys are like my elite holding infantry, really good and also amazing anti-large. I also have a bunch of these executioners as well. The executioners can just get the work done. If they get put up against any infantry, they'll probably come out on top. They're just really good. I also have a Black Dragon and Malekith, who is currently riding his own Black Dragon, and these bad boys are hopefully going to be harassing the enemy ranks. I also have a set of 4 units of these Dark Riders. This is just quick, kind of hard-hitting Vanguard deployed cavalry. And I was really trying to use these guys to maybe try and sneak some artillery because they're pretty cheap, so I don't really mind losing them too much. Ideally, I just wanted to use these guys to maybe hit the enemy formations, or like maybe get behind, hit this artillery. However, I was pretty easily spotted at the beginning of a battle, and this kind of tactic doesn't really work. Then if we look at Mr. Smart Donkey's army on his front line, he has a whole load of these High Elf Spearmen, which I think is a valid strategy, because they are all pretty decent. Then he also has some of the Sword Masters, also a really good anti-infantry. He does have Tyrion, but he hasn't brought Tyrion on the mount, which I maybe disagree with a little bit, because Tyrion on that mount just makes him so maneuverable and such a beast in combat. Then we have some archers, along with 2 eagle bolt throwers, and then a bunch of these silver helms as Mr. Smart Donkey gets his first bit of damage off on my unit. Then as we take a look over at Haxo the Hunter's army, on his front line he has these chameleon skinks. These guys are really good at hiding on the battlefield. I think they're pretty much always invisible unless you get really close to them, and they can shoot whilst moving. A really strong skirmish unit. Then we have on Haxo the Hunter's front line just a load of these Saurus warriors with shields. And as we make our way back, we have some Croxagors. We have Krokgar upon his amazing looking Carnosaur mount, along with a Bastillodon solar engine and a Feral Stegodon. Then to kind of finish up his army is a couple units of these Temple Guard, and then some Cold One Spear Riders, which are kind of immediately going for my cavalry in the woods, which is just very scary. Then finally, if we look at Warrior Sparta's army, we can see he has a Sun or a Moon Dragon out leading his front line. Behind them, he has a bunch of these Lothlorien Sea Guard, who are going to be making up his front line. A really strong unit of archers and spears. They're kind of a bit worse than both archers and spears, however they kind of fit both from roles, so it makes up for it. You know, normally they can take down a large amount of the enemy health before they even get to them. And as we continue back, we can see some more Silver Helms, along with some more Elven Spearmen. I imagine we'll also be seeing some of the Sword Masters, and then finally an Eagle Bolt Thrower and Teclis, again, not on a mount. Didn't Teclis even get on a mount? I'm pretty sure he can, but yeah, no one seems to be bringing mounts this day apart from me and Haxo. And there's also some White Lions back here. So I think we'll just get this battle started as we do kick it off. So I'm immediately pushing Malekith and my dragon to the front lines. I really want to try my best to get these bad boys into battle and just trying to pick off a lot of the enemy units. However, Haxo does a really nice job at cutting down my Dark Riders here. My Dark Riders are very much a hit-and-run-esque force, and the fact that they've been caught up in these woods is not good for me. Ideally, I maybe just need to try and hold him. You can already see the damage that the Cold One cavalry are doing to me. The Spear Riders already ripping through my Dark Riders. Ideally, what you can see I'm starting to do is just trying to commit with a couple units and then bring off the rest of my horses to maybe try and do something else. Because at the moment, this fight isn't even going anywhere remotely close to my side of the battlefield. We can also see that Haxo is pushing up his Saurus warriors, and I think this is one of the hardest things as the Lizardmen, is just getting your lizards into combat without taking too much damage. So many of the other factions, you know, Skaven have amazing artillery, High Elves have really good archers, and I mean same with the Dark Elves, kind of a bit of everything. and it's so hard to get these guys into combat without, without being shot to pieces, like you can see with all these repeater bolt throwers and eagle claw catapults as well, just coming in, or bolt throwers, sorry. So really, for the Lizardmen to excel, you just need to get them into combat, and once they get stuck in, they should be fine. You can now see as well that my forces are now being fully committed to this right side. So Mr. Smart Donkey is getting 2v1s right now, and Warrior Sparta is kind of lacking a little bit behind. He's getting a lot of arrow fire onto this solar engine Bastillodon, but the Bastillodon is really tanky. But yeah, Warrior Sparta, if he wants to get involved in this, needs to start getting over here as soon as he can. He could make an easy push if he wanted to into the central ranks. He just needs to kind of speed up, because at the moment, me and Haxo are just tearing apart the Elven forces, and Mr. Smart Donkey is trying to hold off. But again, teaming up 2v1 on someone isn't always a bad thing, as we'll see. My execution is going toe-to-toe with the Swordmasters. Because getting 2v1, one of the major things, this is like kind of bad for Warrior Sparta, because I'll go on slow-mo whilst I explain this, because this is kind of bad for Warrior Sparta because he's so far away. A lot of the kills which are happening are like going to either me or Haxo. So because of that, if Warrior Sparta turns up right towards the end of the battle and cleans up, all the points which were on the field would have already gone away because the units would have died. So kind of sticking towards the last kind of couple minutes of the battle isn't good. Ideally, you want to be the first one in when everyone's units are full strength and try and just do as much damage as physically possible. And that's why Mr. Smart Donkey here getting 2v1'd isn't the worst thing in the world, because it means he can take both my forces and Haxo's forces away from us, and obviously get double the amount of points, because he's fighting two armies, whereas I'm only fighting half of the High Elf army here, meaning that I'm not getting as many points to say if I was fighting everyone. I get a really, really nice Blade Wind off here. It's such a good Vortex spell cast by Malekith, and that's ripping again, towards both of these guys. So I'm getting double the amount of points here, getting kills on both the Lizardmen and on the High Elves, which is really nice. You can just see this thing ripping apart the Swordmasters and the Lizardmen. It's just such a good spell, and then when it ends up, it just throws a dagger down into the ground and does a bit more damage. Haxo's forces, if we press K, we can really see Haxo's forces are getting beaten back a little bit. He has a lot of his skinks left. However, he doesn't seem to really have committed, all of his forces. He's kind of falling back, making sure that his rear flank doesn't get taken over. And as we can see, my murderous prowess has been popped now, giving me leadership, melee attack, charge bonus, armor piercing damage, and vigor. So that's going to be really useful, and actually allow my Dark Riders to maybe even be able to fight back against these Cold One Spear Riders. Because as you can see with it, it's going pretty well. However, Warrior Sparta is now finally starting to turn up. You can see his 93 score right now, just because he hasn't really got stuck in yet. But his cavalry are going to be entering the battlefield. His infantry is still a little bit further away, but he's going to be arriving and starting to get some points, which is great. He just needs to double time the rest of his forces. Overall, in the battle so far, as we see these silver helms come flying into the back of me and Haxo the Hunter, you can see Mr. Smart Donkey is currently leading. He's being 2v1, but he's managing to deal with that and get the extra points because of it. Then it's Haxo very, very shortly behind him, and then me kind of following up there. So we'll go back up to normal speed now, continue to watch the battle unfold, and we can see that my infantry lines are doing great. The executioners, I'm kind of 2v1ing these spearmen with my executioners. And they're doing, these are actually my dread swords, but the dread swords should be more than enough to take care of these spearmen. Especially because I'm 2v1ing as well. My executioners have managed to kill the rest of these swordmasters. I have, as I said, 2v1ing these guys with murderous prowess as well. I should be cutting these swordmasters down. It just gives me such a good bonus. A 25% melee attack and armor piercing will just provide me with so much more damage and just allow me to outclass the swordmasters. Mr. Smart Donkey's doing some smart stuff here with his cavalry, and again you can see his points are just catapulting forward. He's getting a lot of kills on the rest of these Lizardmen, and obviously he's also fighting me as well. And these Lizardmen are not cheap. He's already managed to defeat all the infantry, and now if he can kind of turn around his archers, focus down these Croxagores, that's going to be a lot of points right there. Ideally, if he could have got his cavalry round here and charged down all of these chameleon skinks, that would have been an insane amount of damage. I think at the moment he's currently focusing down these archers, yeah. If he just could have got his cavalry free, unfortunately, by the looks of it, he is getting stuck a little bit by my Black Guard, who have managed to catch a few of these horses off and killing the silver helms. But if he would have got these silver helms round here and just charged down these chameleon skinks, holy crap, that would have been deadly. You can see I'm also using my Black Dragon as well to try and burn these guys with my Dragon Breath, which is nice. And I think Malekith is also around here somewhere. I'm not quite sure. Malekith, where are you? Are you over here? Yeah, Malekith is down here helping me just destroy the few units of these puny spearmen, which will go down eventually anyway. As you can see, Malekith just sitting on his dragon. And I think Tyrion, yeah, Tyrion's actually also here. And we're going to be surrounding Tyrion and taking him out. I believe I'm maybe going over here to pop another spell at the moment. And all the Elven Archer Fire is going down and focusing down my Black Dragon. Yeah, I cast another beautiful Blade Wind right here. Unfortunately, it doesn't go in the best direction possible, but still really, really good, getting plenty of kills on these Swordmasters. I'm also popping some explosions. You can see I got another really, really nice Ice Wind. Right, I think it's not called Ice Wind. I can't remember what that spell is called. It's like Ice something. But again, lots of good magic off on Malekith, which is definitely helping me staying in. My Black Dragon has now gone into battle, but he is being focused, fired down. And all this time, Warrior Sparta just still isn't in this battle. I think Haxo has a few units of Temple Guard back here. Yeah, we have the Temple Guard back here fighting against the White Lions and the Phoenix Guard, which is pretty good. This is going to be great for Haxo, actually, because the Temple Guard will probably make quick work of these spearmen over time. You know, as I keep saying, the Lizardmen are very much a slow burner. They get stuck in, and they don't do a lot of, like, shock damage, something like maybe the Dark Elves do. However, over time, they really start to rack up the kills, because they just simply don't die. That's the thing. They stay locked into battle and just continue to slowly take out the enemy forces, whilst the enemy forces just don't really do much damage to them. So Tyrion is in a bad situation right here. Malekith is actually extremely low. However, I am going to be able to rout Tyrion, which is great news for me. That's going to give me a bunch of points and also allow me to start mass routing a bunch of Mr. Smug Donkey's high elf force. Because an interesting thing is if you just rout the unit off the field of battle, you get all the points for that unit. So you don't have to just chase it down and kill it. All you have to do is rout it. Warrior Sparta has finally turned up with the rest of his cavalry now. His infantry is still coming, but it's a little bit further away. At the moment, Kroq-Gar is just surrounded, but as you guys have seen from my Kroq-Gar campaign as the Lizardmen, he just does not simply die. He is such a monster. In my campaign, I think I've teched him to be pretty much a morale boost and stat boost to my army, and then I'm also going down the utility tree. So I haven't even spec'd him in like his own personal battle skill, and he still just kills anyone in his path. He is absolutely insane, as we do have this Stegodon and the rest of the Kroxagors turning up. They are going to be a perfect target for all of Warrior Sparta's Sea Guard, who are now just going to be volleying off as many shots as they can to try and do as much damage to these guys, as the rest of his infantry does also turn up. You can also see Warrior Sparta's Bolt Thrower as well is trying to focus down this Bastillodon solar engine, which has been focusing down Malekith this entire battle, which has been kind of funny. Is Malekith still alive? Yeah, Malekith is still alive. I'm trying to stop Haxo from getting the points for killing this thing, because as you can see, you know, Haxo is pretty close to me. I think, Mr. Smart Donkey is completely out of the game right now, so Haxo's probably going to overtake him, and I think that's my biggest issue right now, because I feel like Warrior Sparta has maybe just turned up to the battle that little bit too late. So because of that, I don't think he's going to be able to catch me. I'm about 10,000 points ahead of him. However, you do end up getting like 4,000 points for just being the last man standing, which is really, really good. And if Kroq-Gar can maybe get a few extra kills, maybe get a nice kill on this Moondragon, or maybe even routing some of these Swordmasters, which just aren't going to be able to deal with him, maybe he can keep up and stay in this battle. But ideally, I'm just holding on to my win right now. I really don't want to give up this kind of lead. I'm just trying to do as much damage as possible. I'm also trying to get involved in this skirmish right here and just try and get as much of my routing units. I mean, Warrior Sparta has these Silver Helms, which could just come in and absolutely annihilate me. I also have 2 units of these Executioners back here. Luckily, Malekith is still alive as well. I've managed to harass a lot of the Skinks. And as you can see, all my infantry are just moving into this big cluster. However, my morale is not great. I also have my my Shade right here. Or no, my Assassin, sorry. I completely forgot about this dude, who I'll use to bring back into the battle. I don't think he's really done too much. Yeah, he's got 4 kills, so I definitely didn't use this guy very effectively. Rest of my executioners are coming in, and this is not going to be a good battle for them. I'm pretty much just going to be gifting Warrior Sparta some points if he decides to charge me. However, if I can get these guys into battle against Warrior Sparta's infantry, that'd be pretty decent. And it does look like Warrior Sparta is going to be using his cavalry to try and get a nice little rear charge off on my Black Guard. He's going to pin me in place whilst this chain lightning vortex does rip through my back line. He's going to be falling back, allowing me to get some good kills, and then the bolt throwers as well coming in, just destroying my ranks. So again, Haxo is only 2,000 points away from me. I believe Malekith is really low. He's so close to routing, and he is about to go down, which is not great. He's actually going to rout from the field of battle, which is not good for me, because I think Haxo is going to get a decent amount of points for him routing. He does pop stand your ground, and he does take the last couple hits. You can just see his HP going down. Luckily though, I've actually managed to rout this Moondragon, which is going to be giving me a good amount of points right there, which I'm really, really happy with. Oh, this is going to be beautiful as well. Look at this Phoenix. What a beautiful spell that was. It just looks really, really cool indeed. And Malekith is going to rout from the field of battle. Who's going to get points for him, though? I'm going to keep on keeping an eye on here. Luckily, though, I'm starting to push my lead up a lot. I still have a decent amount of men left, and all I want to really try and do is get my executioners into battle with this spearman, because I will chop them to pieces. I've also got my shade going in at the moment. Yeah, now I've finally got my executioners into this battle, and this is just exactly what I want. This is going to provide me with some, so many good more points, as I do have my General Malekith going into combat against his front line as well, Warrior Sparta's cavalry. Just trying to take that down. And you can see Malekith is so close to dying. I'm just trying to keep him alive for as long as possible. Nice move there by Warrior Sparta, moving his silver helms. And then Haxo the Hunter is just going in for Malekith right now. He really wants to kill him. I'm trying to take flight, but the Bastillodon, which is chasing him down, is not going to give up idly. And he actually takes him down and kills him. However, I didn't really see any points go. I didn't see any points jump up. I thought killing him would give him a bunch of points, but I guess not. So at the moment, it's looking pretty good for me. I'm on 17,000, which I'm kind of happy with. That's a good amount of points in this battle. My last couple of units are going to be getting hammered by, I imagine, maybe from another chain lightning, which is probably going to be all she wrote for my infantry. Yeah, you can see the chain lightning pretty much routing these executioners. And then that is going to be the rest of my forces. I don't think I have anything left. Haxo has, a unit over here. These chameleon skinks, which have come back from routing. But Warrior Sparta is going to become the last man standing as my last couple units rout. There we go. You can see my units rout. It's just literally Haxo's last couple units here. So it's looking good for me. Unless Warrior Sparta gets last man standing, and that gives him like 5,000 points, which I don't think it does. I think it gives him close to that, but not quite that many. I mean, I guess we'll see. So he was on about 10,000. If we look at the final score, we can see that oh my god, it does give you so many points. That being last man standing is really good. He was only 2,000 points behind me in the end, and he has 60% of his force remaining. If Warrior Sparta just managed to get his force into that battle that little bit quicker, and being last man standing gives you like 4,000 points. That literally can make the difference. Well, it meant that Warrior Sparta went from last place to second place. Luckily, though, I did manage to come out on top, seeing Malekith with 200 kills. My executioners as well, 163. And even this unit of Bleak Swords with 103. And my Black Dragon as well with 114. If we look at Warrior Sparta's, again, you can see that his army just didn't really manage to get to the battlefield in time, which was a real shame. And it does mean, it does force you to kind of get engaged in the battle as soon as you can and do as much damage. If we look at Haxo's, his obviously Croc doing really well, and the Croxagor's doing amazing. And then finally, Mr. Smart Donkey, his Swordmaster's excelling in that battlefield. And Tyrion just didn't manage to really do too well. I managed to shut him down, I feel, pretty effectively. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. If you did, please be sure to make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. It really helps out the channel growing and lets me know that you guys want to see more free-for-alls. I'm also going to be doing some more sieges. I think sieges are pretty fun, just trying to hold the wall, and let me know what factions you want to see next in these online battles. Let me know, and thumb up any other comments you see which have like Skaven. Thumb that up so I know what ones you guys really want to see. And I'll see you guys in the next video, and fish out.